Leading off on the right fielder, number 14, Cameron Newell. Batting second, the left fielder, number 13, Albert Devery. Batting third, the center fielder, number 7, Chase Harris.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
The Kansas City T-Bones proudly present T-Bones Baseball on the Air. Members of the American Association of Independent Professional Baseball Clubs and home of fun well done. The T-Bones Broadcast Network is brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Now let's head out to the ballpark for the starting lineups and the first pitch with the voice of the T-Bones, Nathan Moore. Welcome to a gorgeous night here at Community America Ballpark. Matt Forks here along with you. Nathan Moore will be back with us probably during the next homestand. We'll talk about that here as we get through this broadcast here tonight. But we're glad you're with us for the rubber match, the finale of this three-game series between Kansas City and Gary South Shore, after Kansas City won the opener of this series on a very exciting 5-4 game a couple nights ago. RailCats last night, Charlie Rosario just was lights out for Gary. Kansas City offensively just could not find an answer for him. Although it was a fairly close game, 2-2, until about the sixth inning last night when Josh Hodges ended up issuing consecutive 4-pitch walks to Chase Harris and Jose Gonzalez. Alex Crosby followed with a single to right that scored Harris and gave Gary a 3-2 lead. Josh Tolles, fresh off a trip to the Netherlands with Team Australia, came in to relieve Hodges and loaded the bases after giving up a single to Albert Devery. After Gonzalez was forced out at home on a fielder's choice grounded by Andy DeJesus, Jared Medeiros gave the RailCats a 6-2 lead with a 3-run bases-clearing double, and that was all that Charlie Rosario needed last night. He allowed only 2 runs on 4 hits and 2 walks in the complete game victory. He is second in the league in complete games here this season. That is his third of 2016. The 2 runs he gave up actually came on just 2 hits. A leadoff home run in the bottom of the first by Tyson Gillies that tied the game at 1-1, and then a solo homer by Anthony Gallus with 1 out in the fourth that tied the game at 2-2. So last night a little different from what we saw on Monday night. So we'll see what the rubber match has in store here tonight. For Kansas City, it'll be Jared Messer coming into this game with a 3-1 record, 4.05 ERA, and he'll be going against basically a former teammate, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Richard Castillo-Diaz will be going for the RailCats. Castillo-Diaz, of course, starting the season with Kansas City before being traded to Gary. And essentially what Kansas City got in that trade was John Kovalik a few weeks ago. It was a player to be determined later, and it ended up being John Kovalik that Kansas City got in return, but Richard Castillo-Diaz will be going for the RailCats. He is 3-3 here on this season with a 3.28 ERA. Your starting lineups for tonight. First for the visiting RailCats, as they come in here 33 and 31 overall. They are currently sitting in second place in the division, 4 games ahead of Kansas City. Leading off will be the right fielder Cameron Newell. Batting second will be the left fielder Albert Davari. Batting third in center field Chase Harris. Frank Martinez is at third base and batting fourth. Jaime Del Valle is at first base tonight and batting fifth. Batting sixth, the DH Alex Crosby. Batting seventh, the catcher Jose Gonzalez. John Holland is playing second base and batting eighth. Batting ninth and playing shortstop is Jared Medeiros. So again, it's Newell, Davari, Harris, Martinez, DeValle, Crosby, Gonzalez, Holland, and Medeiros. For Kansas City, leading off basically the same lineup we've seen the last few games. Leading off in left field, Tyson Gillies. Batting second will be the second baseman, Brett Wiley. Batting third in center field, Tyler Massey. Jake Blackwood is batting fourth and playing first base. Anthony Gallus is your DH, batting fifth. Frias is your shortstop, batting sixth. Dalton Weed is in right field, batting seventh. Brian Ayers behind the plate, batting eighth. And Sergio Leon is at third base, batting ninth. So for Kansas City, Gillies, Wiley, Massey, Blackwood, Gallus, Frias, Wheat, Erie, and Leon. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout during the national anthem. When we come back, we'll have the first pitch for you as Kansas City and Gary get set to wrap up this 3-game series and this 6-game homestand for Kansas City. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to Community America Ballpark as we get set for Game 3 of this 3-game series with Kansas City and Gary. The RailCats coming in here 33 and 31 overall. The T-Bones sitting in last in the Central at 29 and 35. Kansas City is 4 games behind Gary. The standings look like this. Lincoln is in first at 4.5 games ahead of Gary. Sioux City is between Gary and Kansas City. They're a game and a half back of Gary and a game and a half. He's checked out 2.5 games in front of the T-Bones. So Kansas City looking for its second consecutive series win, and this could be the 6th series win out of their last 9 series. So even though Kansas City is still sitting in last, they have been playing better lately. They get set for a road trip to Winnipeg coming up starting Friday night, All-Star break early next week, and then a series at Sioux City coming up next week toward the end of that week. So we'll talk about that, but let's get underway here from Community America Ballpark. Cameron Newell, Albert Davari, and Chase Harris, the first 3 hitters here to face Jared Messer. Messer coming in here 3-1 as the first pitch misses outside to Cameron Newell. Jared Messer 3-1 on the season, 4.05 ERA as this one is in there for a called strike. Messer making his 9th start of the season as this pitch misses a little bit low and away. Taylor Payne's behind the plate tonight, cutting low at first, and Tim Kramer is at third. As this one is lifted into right field, but Weed is there for out number 1. Defensively for Kansas City, as we mentioned, it's pretty much the same defensive alignment that we've seen here throughout this series and really throughout this whole homestand. Gillies in left, Massey in center, Weed in right. The infield from third to first, Leon, Frias, Wiley, and Blackwood. Brian Erie is behind the plate tonight. With 1 out, nobody on here at the top of the first, Albert Davari, the left fielder, will be the batter. As the first pitch, he shows bunt, pulls it back, but it's in there for a strike. The T-Bones in their home white uniforms tonight, trimmed in oxblood and gold. As the 1-strike pitch paints the black on the outside corner for a called strike 2. With 2 strikes now, Leon, the third baseman, backs up beyond the bag at third. He was pretty close to the grass, anticipating a possible bunt from Davari. And again with this team, as this pitch misses. With this team, as we've seen really throughout my 5 years here in Kansas City, they will bunt at any time. As this one's on the ground, Wiley will go to his left, make the play over to Blackwood for out number 2. Nice range that time by Brett Wiley at second base. That'll bring up the center fielder, Chase Harris. So last night we saw Gary make some defensive changes. Late in the game as this pitch will miss to Harris. The first 2 games are the first game in 6 innings-ish. Anthony Checky was in center field. Chase Harris was in right. Cameron Newell had been in left. Last night, as this one's on the ground, Frias will backhand it. Strong throw to first. In time for a 1-2-3 inning by Jared Messers. He will get Chase Harris on the 6-3 putout for out number 3. But about the 6th, 7th inning last night, we saw some defensive changes. And Anthony Checky, after making some outstanding defensive plays in center field and being a force at the top third of this lineup, is not in the lineup here tonight, but Chase Harris is back in center field. So we'll see how that transpires, because Harris made an outstanding play last night as well after he moved over to center field. Regardless, 3 up, 3 down in the top half of the first inning. We head to the bottom half. Gary, nothing. Kansas City coming up back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Welcome back to Community America Ballpark as we go to the bottom half of the first inning. It'll be Tyson Gillies, Brett Wiley, Tyler Massey, the three scheduled hitters for Kansas City, here to face Richard Castillo-Diaz. Castillo started the season with Kansas City, but shortly before his first start, I think we were a day away from his first start, if I remember correctly, maybe 2 days, Kansas City traded him to Gary. It was a trade for a player to be determined. That player ended up being Kansas City relief pitcher John Kovalik. Castillo-Diaz, 5'11", 165, right-hander, out of Venezuela. Big swing and a miss on the first pitch to Gillies. Castillo sat out last year with an injury, and before this season had the last pitch for the Tulsa Drillers of the Texas League, Double-A affiliate of the Rockies, as this pitch misses inside. So in 2014, he went 3-12 with a 5.41 ERA in 25 starts for Tulsa. The windup in the 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. Tyson Gillies went 2 for 5 last night. The windup in the next offering is grounded but foul down the first base side. And I stand corrected. Gillies went 1 for 4 last night. His one hit at the time was a big one. It was a solo home run in the bottom of the first that tied up the game as he blips this one into right field. The shift was on, and it's going to be mishandled. As the second baseman, John Holland, was trying to rush, I think, to get Gillies. They were going to try to get him at first base. They had him played perfectly, but Holland bobbled it, and Gillies will have a leadoff single here in the first. So the first hit of the game, and it'll bring up the second baseman, Brett Wiley. Wiley went hitless last night. He was hit by a pitch and walked. And on the left side of the plate is the first pitch from Castillo, misses inside. Last night, the first time in this homestand that Wiley went hitless as he drops down a bunt. It goes back to Castillo. A perfect sacrifice as Gillies moves up to second base. So a 1-3 sacrifice for out number 1. And that was a bunt that, especially this early in the game, you're not anticipating. I'm not sure what. Looks like Castillo Diaz might have tweaked something a little bit, and the trainer, after Jose Gonzalez, the catcher, goes out and talks with him, Gonzalez started to come back to the plate, and manager Greg Taggart was asking if he's okay, and now they'll send the trainer out to check on him. But last night, the first game in this homestand in which Wiley went hitless. But you could say that Kansas City here in the bottom of the first playing a little Greg Taggart, Gary SouthShore baseball. This is, you have one of the hottest hitters in the league, Brett Wiley, in the top 10 in the American Association. But John Mazzarelli electing to put down a sacrifice bunt here and move Gillies into scoring position in the first inning. So evidently Castillo Diaz is okay. And I will apologize now if I go from Castillo to Castillo Diaz. He's been listed as Castillo. When he was here back in May, I asked him, I said, because I had heard it as both Castillo and Castillo Diaz. And I asked him which it was, as we're back underway in the first pitch off speed in there for a strike to Massey. But I asked him, is it Castillo or is it Castillo Diaz? And he said, technically it's Castillo Diaz. But he said that throughout my whole career, it's just gone down as Castillo. So I will apologize now if I go back and forth as Massey grounds one to the shortstop, Medeiros, who will go to first for the out as Gillies will move up to third base. So a 6-3 put out for out number 2, and you know, whether Dave Schaub, John Mazzarelli called for that bunt for Brett Wiley, or Wiley decided to do it on his own, we won't know. At least we won't know during the game. But it's great to have Gillies at third, but now you have Gillies at third with 2 outs. However, you have Jake Blackwood at the plate. Blackwood in on the right side of the plate as the first pitch off speed down low. Blackwood batting .272. Has 66 hits. By far and away, the Kansas City leader in RBIs with 51. Second place in that category is Brett Wiley with 30. Blackwood with 15 doubles on the year. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swung on, but it'll head toward the seats and make the count 2-1. Jake went 0 for 3 last night. Again, Kansas City came away with only 4 hits last night. Gillies a home run, Gallus a home run. The other 2 hits went to Dalton Wheat and Tyler Massey. 2-1, 2 outs, bottom of the first, no score. Gillies gets his lead at third for Kansas City as this pitch misses inside, so it's 3-1 now to Blackwood. Castillo kicks and delivers, and the off-speed pitch is in there for a strike. Blackwood not happy with that call by Taylor Payne. Castillo went to Gary on May 23rd of this year. As this pitch is blooped toward right, but it will drop right next to the tarp down the first base side, and the first baseman, Jaime DeValle, was about 10 feet from the ball when it's right next to the foul line, and he just walked away from it. The right fielder, Cameron Newell, had to come about 90 feet to get it. I think Cody Lowe, the first base umpire, was asking DeValle why he didn't go get it. Shadows now making it a little bit tougher for the right side of the field. Here's the payoff pitch to Blackwood. Swung on, lifted into shallow center field. Harris comes in, camps under it, and pulls it down for out number 3. So Kansas City squanders the leadoff base hit by Tyson Gillies. We've played an inning. No score here at Community America Ballpark. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Welcome back to Community America Ballpark as we head to the second inning. No score here on a gorgeous Wednesday night. We're glad you're with us wherever you might be. We get comments and emails from time to time, and we thank you guys for listening. Kansas City will be off tomorrow before beginning a 3-game road trip at Winnipeg on Friday night. We'll talk more about that here later on tonight. So it'll be Frank Martinez, Jaime DeValle, and Alex Crosby here to face Jared Messers. The first pitch misses to Martinez. This one's in there for a strike. And the count now 1-1 to Martinez. Next pitch as Messer works quickly, misses somewhere. Frank Martinez batting .242 on the year as he grounds this one sharply down the first base side. Batting .242, 54 hits, 10 doubles, 2 triples, 6 home runs. He has 41 RBIs and has scored 38 runs. He went 1 for 2 last night, had the big 3-run double that pretty much broke the game open. As Gary had a 4-run 6th inning, and that pretty much did the T-Bones in, particularly with the way Charlie Rosario was pitching. As Martinez fouls this one off his foot. So the count's even up 2-2. The next pitch misses inside. Jared Messer with a very quick 1-2-3 first inning through just 13 pitches. Here's the payoff pitch. It's high and away to Martinez. So Martinez will be the first base runner of the night for the RailCats. That'll bring up Jaime DeValle, the first baseman. DeValle had the night off last night. Went 0 for 3 in the series opener on Monday. A left-handed hitter, 6'1", 200 pounds. Runner goes, pitch is swung on a miss, throw down to second, isn't even close as Vladimir Frias will just tag out Martinez. Martinez didn't even bother to slide. He was out by about 3 steps and just kind of coasted in and let Frias tag him. So Erie will throw out Martinez. Del Valle fouls this one back and finds himself behind in the count 0-2. As Del Valle sends the 0-2 pitch into left field for a one-out single. That brings up the DH, Alex Crosby. Crosby 1 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI last night. He went 0 for 4 in the series opener. First pitch right down the chute for a called strike. Crosby with a slightly open stance, bat straight up as he fouls this one toward the seats and into the seats down in the GA section. Crosby played collegiately at Sonoma State University. Big swing and a miss. He will be the first strikeout of the night for Messer. So 2 outs in the inning, and it brings up Jose Gonzalez, the catcher. Gonzalez went 0 for 3 last night. As the first pitch just barely missing inside. Gonzalez in his last 3 games over the last 5 days is hitless. He's 0 for 9 and on the right side of the plate taps this one down toward Leon, who will go to second with it and get the force for out number 3. So Gonzalez will remain hitless in his last 5 games. And that'll do it for the RailCats here in the second. For Gary, they get a couple runners on, but one is thrown out caught stealing, and the other will be forced out at second on the fielder's choice by Gonzalez. So no runs on 1 hit and no errors. Here in the second for Gary, we go to the bottom of the second. No score. Back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
We go to the bottom of the second. Anthony Gallus, Vladimir Frias, Dalton Wheat here to face Richard Castillo. We talked about Castillo being traded from Kansas City to Gary back at the end of May. And it was really just about a week into the season, a day or two before Castillo was about to make his first start for the T-Bones. Since going to Gary, he has made 14 starts, 14 appearances. He's 3-3, 3.28 ERA. Has pitched in 85 innings as the first pitch is inside to Gallus. In 85 innings, he's given up 82 hits. The windup and the one ball to Gallus is inside. 35 runs, 31 of those have been earned. Castillo, though, with a strikeout to walk ratio of 49-21 as Gallus grounds this one to the third baseman Martinez, who will throw to first in time for out number one. We have seen a couple instances this year of T-Bones, current T-Bones going against their former teams, i.e. Josh Hodges pitching against Joplin a couple weeks ago. As Vladimir Frias will be the batter in on the left side of the plate and goes after the first pitch and lines it into right field for a base hit. So Vladdy, who went 0 for 4 last night, will get Kansas City's second hit of the game here tonight. Brings up the right fielder, Dalton Wheat. We have not seen Kovalik in this series. We have seen Robbie Cousdale with Lincoln going against Kansas City, as this pitch is in there for a strike to Wheat. And he has played very well against his former team. We've seen Brandon Tierney do very well against Kansas City, playing for Joplin. Part of that Hodges deal, as this one's on the ground, could be two. Shortstop to second for one, over to first, not in time to get the speedy Wheat. So fielder's choice, 6-4 putout for out number two, but Wheat is able to beat out the double play. Brings up the catcher, Brian Erie. But in the case of Castillo, there's no type of blood, good, bad, or otherwise. And likewise, for the Kansas City hitters going against Castillo, they don't really, he wasn't here long enough really to get that, any type of familiarity. As the one ball pitch is on the ground toward third. Martinez charges in, flips the throw, and it goes past the first baseman Del Valle. Wheat's going to head to third, and they're going to hold him up there as Del Valle quickly gets it and throws it into home, thinking Wheat was going to try to score. But then Gonzalez will make a snap throw down to Martinez at third, but Wheat will dive back safely. So that'll put Brian Erie at second, and Dalton Wheat is over at third. Wheat came about 20 feet up the line, and Dave Schaub, the third base coach, threw on the brakes hard. As Martinez just airmailed that ball to DeValle. So we'll get our first error of the game, and it brings up the number 9 hitter, Sergio Leon. A chance for Kansas City for the second consecutive inning to score with a runner just 90 feet away. First pitch in there for a strike to Leon. Leon went 0 for 3 last night. Had a bit of a rough night against Rosario. Big swing and a miss. Leon struck out his first time and then grounded out a couple times. Diggs back in on the right side of the plate with an 0-2 count. Dalton Wade at third base, Brian Erie at second. The kick and the pitch from Castillo is fouled back and over the sweets. So the count remains 0-2 as Castillo gets the one he wants from Gonzalez, comes set at the belt. The kick and the 2-strike pitch, off-speed pitch. Sergio chases it and comes up empty. The first strikeout for Castillo Diaz and the third out here in the second inning. Kansas City will get one hit here in the inning, and Gary commits one error. 2 in the books. We head to the third. Scoreless here at Community America Ballpark. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce costs and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
We go to the third inning. It'll be John Holland, Jared Medeiros, and back to the top with Cameron Newell. Matt Folks here along with you at Community America Ballpark. It's 50-cent hot dog night tonight. Hot dog eating contest afterwards. I'm not sure who all's in it. I have heard that Brian Porting is in it, as this one's in there for a strike to Holland. Talked to BP before the game today when the media food is here, as this pitch is in the dirt. Said he had to stay focused. He wasn't eating yet. Remember Joe Gall a couple years ago had all sorts of strategies for trying to win the hot dog eating contest. He ultimately did not. As a 3-1 pitch misses somewhere to Holland. So for the second consecutive inning, Jared Messer will open the inning by walking a RailCat. Last inning, it was Frank Martinez who was gunned down at second trying to steal. This time it's John Holland. And it brings up the number 9 hitter, Jared Medeiros. Medeiros shows bunt, gets it down to Messer, who thought about going to second, and now we'll just flip to Blackwood at first for the sure out. So a 1-3 sacrifice for out number 1. Holland moves into scoring position. That's the first runner of the night for Gary. In scoring position. As the first pitch to Newell misses low and inside. Newell led off the game, flying out to the right fielder Wheat. Left-handed hitter, right-handed pitcher as this next pitch misses outside to the lefty Cameron Newell. Newell batting .286 on the year. 52 for 182. As he watches this one go by for a strike. 6 doubles, 4 triples. The 4 triple leads this Gary club. No home runs for Newell. He does have 19 RBIs and 33 runs scored. He fouls this one back to the screen. Those 33 runs scored, second on this Gary club behind Frank Martinez, although Martinez started the year somewhere else. Has 38 on the year. Counts 2-2 to Newell. Messer with a check back at second. Now comes to the plate. And the fastball is fouled back. Martinez started the season at Sioux Falls. Was placed on waivers and claimed by Gary. Here's the 2-2. Tap down the first base side. Blackwood will take it himself, and just in the nick of time, he steps on the base. Messer was going over there, as the pitcher should, to cover first. And it looked like Blackwood was close enough. He was going to take it. Then he started to flip it. And I'm not sure if he was just messing around with Messer or what, but ended up beating Cameron Newell by about a step, if even that. So John Holland now moves over to third base. And with 2 outs, the batter is Albert Davari. First pitch to Davari at 89 for a strike. Mike Kickham, Jordan Cooper, Josh Hodges, the 3 scheduled pitchers for Kansas City in Winnipeg this weekend, as this pitch to Davari is lifted into center field. Massey drifts back about 3 steps, camps under and pulls it down for out number 3. So that'll do it for the RailCats here in the third. No runs on no hits. There were no errors. And they'll leave 1 at third base. We go to the bottom of the third. Gary nothing, Kansas City nothing. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
In Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
As we go to the third inning, it'll be the top of the order for Kansas City. Tyson Gillies, Brett Wiley, Tyler Massey. Here to face Richard Castillo-Diaz, who has given up 2 hits tonight. One last inning to Vladimir Frias and one in the first inning to this man, Tyson Gillies. First offering to Gillies is on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. Gillies batting .229. The kick and the pitch misses outside. I had mentioned earlier about just the motivation that some players have going against their former team. I mentioned Robbie Cousdale, who's now with Lincoln. Cousdale was released, picked up by Lincoln about the same time that Kansas City signed Tyson Gillies. Here's the 2-1 pitch, grounded sharply but foul down the first base side. Frank White not here tonight. John West, the first base coach. Dave Schaub down at third base. This team will be headed toward Winnipeg right after the game tonight. An off day tomorrow, as this one's tapped foul on the first base side. An off day tomorrow, and then the start of a 3-game series at Winnipeg before the All-Star break early next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. As this one's in there for a called strike, strike 3 to Tyson Gillies. That's the second strikeout of the game for Castillo. And with one out here in the third, it brings up the second baseman, Brett Wiley. So 22 of the 23 T-Bones will have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday off before beginning a 4-game road trip. All 4 games at Sioux City starting on Thursday the 4th. This one's fouled in the seats by Wiley. The lone T-Bone who will not have next week off will be relief pitcher Mark Haynes, as this pitch misses outside. Haynes getting his first All-Star nod. And very well deserved for the closer for the T-Bones. This one is in there for a strike to Wiley. And the count's 1-2. Brett Wiley batting .330. He takes this one right back up the middle. I was about to say he is second on the team in hits, one behind Massey, but they are now tied as Brett Wiley will get his 70th hit of the year. And the guy he just tied atop the Kansas City leaderboard is at the plate now, Tyler Massey. Massey grounded out to the shortstop Medeiros, his first time up in the first inning. No score, bottom of the third inning. Massey goes after the first pitch. One hopper to Holland, the second baseman, who will spin and go to second base, and they will get Wiley, who does a nice job of taking out the shortstop Medeiros and keeping the double play off the board. But a nice play by John Holland as it was lined sharply by Massey, but Holland able to field it to his left, spin park. We're back right after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
We go to the fourth inning. No score here at Community America Ballpark. Jared Messer on the hill for Kansas City. He's given up only one hit, but he has walked a couple here tonight. In fact, each of the last two innings, he's walked the leadoff batter. Chase Harris leads things off here in the fourth inning. And the first pitch is in there for a strike. Next one swung on a miss, so quickly Messer ahead of Harris, 0-2. One thing we have seen out of Messer this year that we have not seen in previous years is the next pitch floats outside. The first base umpire, Cody Lowe, says that Harris did not go around. So the count 1-2. Next pitch is grounded toward the shortstop Frias. He backhands it, plants, throws. Not in time, as they say. Blackwood came off the bag. Jake with a long stretch over at first base, but we'll watch the replay. They say that, and it looks like he might have, a pretty good call by Cody Lowe. It was close, but it looked like Blackwood, after he caught the ball, made a little last ditch. He is working much quicker with nobody on base. Now, of course, he makes a throw over to first to keep Harris close. Gives a long look in, now goes over to first again. .46 pitches thrown this game for Jared Messer. The kick and the pitch is just a bit outside. So 1-1 now to Martinez. Martinez walked leading off the second inning and then was caught stealing as the throw over to first almost was close to get Harris. Now Harris will call time as he got some dirt down his britches. Martinez back on the left side of the plate. Messer the righty, kicks and delivers, and this one's way inside. So the count goes 2-1 now to Martinez. Next pitch fouled back to the screen. It's even up now 2-2. Martinez started the season at Sioux Falls. Was claimed off waivers on June 11th. Grounds this one right past Messer. It's picked up by Frias, who will step on second, throw to first. Not in time to get the double play. They will get the lead out, but a nice play by Vladimir Frias, and Frias fielded it behind the bag on the high hop. Touched the base and made a nice throw to first, almost in time to get Martinez. We're going to call it a 6-3 putout for the out, but looked like Messer might have slowed that ball down and went right back up the box. So a 6 unassisted to get Harris at second. Martinez is at first after the fielder's choice. Del Valle pops this one up. It is in fair territory and right in front of home plate. Sergio Leon will come over and make the play. Martinez holds up at first. So a high pop out by Del Valle. Yeah, with 2 outs here in the fourth, it brings up Alex Crosby. No score here at Community America Ballpark. We're 2 outs into the fourth inning. Martinez is at first. The kick and the pitch is high and away. Mike Kickham and Mikey O'Brien, the scheduled pitchers on Friday night. Friday and Saturday nights from Winnipeg, it's 7 o'clock. Sunday is a 1 o'clock start. Here's the 1-ball pitch to Crosby. Grounded sharply just under the glove of Blackwood into right field. Martinez will scoot into third base. The throw will be cut off by Frias from Wheat. And we'll have runners at the corners now with 2 outs. Crosby just bolted that one into right. A nice effort by Blackwood, but it'll turn into runners at the corners with 2 outs. Brings up the catcher, Jose Gonzalez. Gonzalez batting .254. And on the right side of the plate, wide open stance as the first pitch is in there for a strike. This one's in the dirt, blocked by Erie, so both runners will stay put. Martinez at third base, Crosby at first. Messer comes set. The kick and the pitch is grounded toward Leon at third. It's going to be a tough play as he backhands it behind the base. Throws to first in plenty of time to retire Gonzalez on the 5-3 putout. It looked like it was going to be a tougher play than that, but Leon, who has looked really good this whole homestand, that he has played third base, and he made that play look very easy for out number 3. So here in the fourth inning for Gary, no runs on 2 hits. and they'll leave a couple on base. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Scoreless here at Community America Ballpark. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
We go to the Kansas City half of the fourth inning. Anthony Gallus, Vladimir Frias, Dalton Weed here to face Richard Castillo-Diaz, who has yet to give up a run. He has given up 3 hits, 1 in each of the first 3 innings. Tyson Gillies, Brett Wiley, and Vladimir Frias with the 3 hits for Kansas City. Anthony Gallus, who grounded out leading off the second inning, will lead off the fourth. Watches the first pitch from Castillo-Diaz. Cross for a strike. The windup of the 1-strike pitch. Grounded sharply toward third base. Martinez up with it. Strong throw to first for out number 1. So a couple 5-3 groundouts by Gallus, and it brings up Vladimir Frias. Frias has seen 1 pitch from Castillo-Diaz. He went after that first pitch in the second inning and lined it into right field for a base hit. Each team with 3 hits. Each team with no runs. The RailCats have 1 error. They committed that one back in the second. As Frias shows bunt and pulls it back as the pitch crosses low. The windup of the 1-ball pitch is grounded sharply just past the outstretched glove of John Holland into right center for a 1-out single by Vladimir Frias. So Vladdy with 2 hits tonight. That ball just getting under the glove of John Holland. It was similar to, as far as the look of the play, it was similar to the base hit by Crosby that just went into the glove of Jake Blackwood in the top of this inning. Dalton Lee the batter. Frias takes off. That will keep the double play out of order, and then more than that, it will send Frias to third base. As Frias took off for second. That took the shortstop over to second base and left a hole. The third baseman, Martinez, started to come over as well to try to field the ball, so suddenly nobody was at third, and Frias scooted over there, and so it's now runners at first and third for Kansas City on back-to-back singles. Brings up the catcher, Brian Erie. Erie reached on an error by Martinez in the second inning. Wheat takes off on the first pitch, and the first pitch is fouled sharply toward the concourse. Wheat didn't realize it at first, and now he will trot back to first base. And with Wheat's speed, and frankly combining Wheat's speed with Frias' speed, I would not be shocked to see him take off again. Brian Erie back in there. Quick throw to first. Wheat stays close, and Frias inches up the line just in case that ball gets past Devalle. We saw that happen with Kansas City last night. As the next pitch is a pitch out, and runners are not going, so it's now even up 1-1 to Erie. It happened in the 7th inning last night as Holman tried to pick off Chase Harris, and the ball got past Blackwood, and Harris ended up at third base. The pitch from Castillo Diaz is fouled off the end of the bat down the first base side. So we will come back and do it again. Vladimir Frias with one out, singled. Dalton Wheat then singled as Frias took off for second base. That's where we stand with runners at the corners and a 1-2 count. Erie with his open stance on the right side of the plate. Castillo Diaz, the righty, comes set. The kick and the pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Gonzalez. Kansas City, as we've seen the last few years under John Mazzarelli, is a very aggressive base running team, but near the top of that aggressiveness is the guy at third base, Vladimir Frias. He is always doing whatever he can to create chaos. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Grounded sharply and into left field, so Kansas City will get on the board first here tonight. On back-to-back singles, this one by Brian Erie that scores Frias from third base. And gives Kansas City a 1-0 lead. Dalton Wheat holds up at second base. And Kansas City really not getting great wood on the ball here against Castillo Diaz here in this inning, but they are perfect seeing eye grounders. All three of them have been perfectly placed for the T-Bones. Brings up Sergio Leon as he goes after the first pitch and misses badly. Leon came up back in the second inning with runners at second and third and struck out against Castillo. And on the right side of the plate, the rookie out of Florida pops this one up, but it's going to head toward the seats behind the tarp. It happened to bounce in the aisle, and a guy 2 rows back from the concourse jumped up and made a nice one-handed grab. So Leon finds himself down the count 0-2. Castillo taking his time. Here's the pitch. Tap toward the shortstop, who goes to second for one, over to first, not in time. A very slow developing play, and Medeiros did all he could with it and got it over to Holland as quickly as he could at second, but Leon will be at first with a fielder's choice. Dalton Wheat moves up to third base. Erie is the one retired on the 6-4 for out number 2. And it puts us back at the top of the lineup now with Tyson Gillies. Gillies 1 for 2 tonight. He singled in the first inning, was stranded at third. Struck out looking in the third. Kansas City leading it 1-0, but a chance to make it 2-0 if Gillies can get a base hit here. The second baseman, Holland, playing in shallow right field. And it's going to be tapped toward Holland. We'll see what happens. He'll charge in, makes a throw to first, in time to get Gillies on the close 4-3 putout for out number 3. If Gillies hits that one just a little bit softer, he beats it out and Kansas City scores, but once again, Holland had him played perfectly for the 4-3 putout, but not before Kansas City will get a run here in the 4th inning. They will do it on 3 consecutive hits by Frias, Wheat, and Erie. There were no errors, and the T-Bones will leave a couple on. We've played 4. We head to the 5th. Kansas City leading it 1-0. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
John Holland will lead things off for Gary here in the 5th inning as the first pitch misses to Holland. Kansas City leading it 1-0. Next pitch from Messer is fouled back and out of play. So here's what I was talking about last inning. With nobody on base, Messer is eager to get going. Now, of course, once he gets a runner on base, he'll fiddle around a little bit, throw the timing off a little bit. But with nobody on, he is ready to go. And this one misses low and away. So it's 2-1 now to John Holland, who walked leading off the 3rd inning. In each of the last 3 innings, the leadoff runner has reached for Gary as this one misses low and away. It's 3-1. Messer wheels and deals the 3-1 pitch. It's high and outside. So Holland walks for the 2nd time tonight. He's the 3rd walk given up by Messer, but for the 4th consecutive inning. After retiring the RailCats in order in the 1st inning, Gary has had at least 1 runner aboard, and in each of the last 4 innings now, it's been that leadoff runner. A walk in the 2nd, a walk in the 3rd, a base hit last inning, and now a walk here in the 5th. Throw to first, but diving back safely is Holland. Jared Medeiros the batter now, the shortstop. Put down a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd inning as this pitch misses high and inside. His sacrifice moved Holland up to 2nd base. Holland then went to 3rd on the ground out by Cameron Newell. But he was stranded there as Albert Davari flied out to Massey in center. 1-0 pitch is grounded sharply down the third base side. Kansas City won the first game of this series with an exciting 2-run scoring sacrifice walk-off that did have a couple RailCat errors, but Kansas City winning the first game of the series 5-4 and then losing last night 7-2. The worst the T-Bones do here on this homestand is finish .500. As this pitch is lifted into center field, Massey drifts back. Now Cam Center pulls it down, throws quickly towards second as the runner tries to tag. The ball goes off the glove of Brett Wiley, and the runner will be safe. You don't see guys tagging up much from first against Tyler Massey, but if Wiley's able to hold on to that, they get the runner Holland, but I'm not sure if he slid funny or what, but he's taking a little bit extra time. The trainer goes out and talks to him and tells manager Greg Taggart to head back toward the dugout. But Tyler Massey with an outstanding arm in center field. You don't see many guys tagging up from first to second on him. But you see a lot of things with the RailCats that other teams don't do. This tag up gives him a runner in scoring position with a 1 out. Cameron Newell, the leadoff hitter, is the batter now. First pitch is in the dirt. T-Bones leading it 1-0. We're in the top half of the fifth inning. The kick and the pitch, off speed pitch, is upstairs. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Gary. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for Kansas City. As Newell puts this one into the right field corner, that's going to tie up the game at 1 apiece. The throw into second base, though, and Newell will be out on the outstanding throw by Dalton Wheat. Greg Taggart, the manager for Gary, will come out and argue this with umpire Cody Lowe, but as we watch the replay, hopefully we will not see the replay again because Taggart has a good reason to beef about this, as it looked like Cameron Newell slid under the tag, but nonetheless, he'll be out 9-6 for out number 2. So a big call right there that favors Kansas City. Nonetheless, Gary ties it up here with this run in the 5th inning. So you knew eventually that the leadoff runner would come back to bite Kansas City, as this was the 4th consecutive inning. We're in the 5th inning, by the way. This is the 4th consecutive inning that the leadoff runner reached. Martinez walked in the 2nd, was thrown out stealing. Holland walked in the 3rd and reached third base. Davari, the batter now, as the first pitch misses down low. Harris singled last inning and was forced down to second base on a grounder by Martinez, as this one's fouled back and out of play. So just from a percentages standpoint, a chances standpoint, it was bound to get Kansas City, and it did here in the fifth. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on a miss. He gets away from Erie, but he'll pick it up and throw to first in time to get Davari. That is just the second strikeout of the night for Jared Messer. It's the third out here in the fifth inning, but not before Gary will get a run. They do it on just one hit, but that hit by Cameron Newell brought in John Holland, who walked leading off the inning. And nobody will be left on base. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Kansas City and Gary tied again, this time at 1 apiece. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
It'll be 2-3-4 for Kansas City as we go to the fifth inning. Brett Wiley, Tyler Massey, Jake Blackwood. Richard Castillo-Diaz back on the hill for Gary SouthShore. He has given up one run. That run came last inning. And with this Gary team, you really cannot feel comfortable with a 1-2, maybe even a 3-run lead. Castillo-Diaz. First pitch off speed, misses outside to Wiley. They have Wiley shaded to pull. You don't want to call it complete shift, but they had him played almost perfectly as Holland will field it and throw to first in time to get Wiley 4-3. And as we saw with Gillies, they have Holland placed a little bit to his left of where he would normally be, but then he's back in the grass about 8 to 10 feet. He had Gillies played perfectly ending the fourth, and as Wiley perfectly played here in the fifth. Brings up Tyler Massey, who's looking for his first hit of the night, and this pitch is in there for a strike. Massey with just one hit here in this series. Counts 1-1 now to Massey. Massey went 0 for 4 Monday night and 1 for 4 last night. As he lifts this one into deep left field, Davari jumps up at the warning track and makes the play. And all Massey can do is just put his hands on his hips as he went hitless that first night, but two of those outs came from outstanding plays by the center fielder for Gary, Anthony Checky. A diving play to Checky's left, and a couple innings later, a diving play to Checky's right. And now Davari, just when it looks like Massey's going to get one over his head, runs back and jumps in front of the warning track right next to the Gary bullpen for the second out. Blackwood chases the first one and lifts it into left center. The center fielder Harris will camp under it and pull it down 4 out number 3. So for the first time tonight, Kansas City is retired in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. 5 in the books. We head to the 6th, tied at 1. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
If you're out here at the ballpark tonight, remember that there's a hot dog eating contest afterwards. I was concerned about trying to hurry getting out to the bus leaving approximately an hour after the game as Chase Harris goes after the first pitch from Messer and lines it into center field for a base hit. So for the 5th consecutive inning, the leadoff runner's aboard for the RailCats. Brings up the third baseman, Frank Martinez. But I was worried about getting out to the bus, getting our work done here, getting things packed up, getting my suitcase out of the car, getting it all loaded, yada, yada. Because Maz wants to leave within an hour, and generally we are not out of here within an hour on a typical night. But I just learned from Brian Porting, I mentioned BP earlier, that he is in the hot dog eating contest tonight. One of the contestants tonight, as this pitch is fouled back and out of play, would be one Josh Hodges, who at this moment is scheduled to start Sunday at Winnipeg. Now, if he eats too many hot dogs, gets a hot dog lodged in his windpipe or something, as this one is lined into right field, it's going to be a base hit for Martinez as the runner Harris will go on to third base. So the runners are the corners now with nobody out. But knowing that Hodges is in the hot dog eating contest after the game, that makes me think we might have a little bit more time. My guess is Hodges can put down some hot dogs. And yes, I'm basing that on one thing and one thing only. That Hodges is 6'7", 235. A big guy as Messer throws over to first. The runner Martinez dives back safely. But Hodges has some tough competition. Kyle Disney. As the next pitch way high, Erie had to pop up quickly to keep that one from going to the backstop. Scott's in it. Somebody from the grounds crew's in it. BP's in it. And last but certainly not least, Hurricane Eddie is in the contest. Is Hurricane Eddie a professional? He is not. He's what? He is not nowhere close to being a professional. As the next pitch is upstairs, nobody warming up for Kansas City, but Messer is one pitch from walking the bases loaded here in the top of the 6th. Here's the 3-0, and the automatic's in there for a called strike. Harris led off the inning with a single. He's now at third after the single by Martinez. Nobody out, 1-1 game. The kick and the pitch is in there for a strike. So Messer has gone from 3-0 to now 3-2 against Del Valle. Del Valle with a single in the second inning. He was the first hit of the night for Gary. They have 6 in this game. Messer, the righty, comes set at the belt. The kick and the payoff pitch is way inside. So Messer issues his 4th walk of the night. And the bases will be loaded with nobody out. That's going to bring out pitching coach Bill Sobey. Now, with the bases loaded, nobody out. Well, I was about to say Kansas City will get somebody loose, and now quickly they will get some movement down in the bullpen. Kansas City took a 1-0 lead in the 4th inning. Vladimir Frias, Dalton Wheat, and Brian Airy had back-to-back singles. Brian Aries is the one that scored Vladimir Frias. Richard Castillo was able to work around the rest of that, as Bill Sobey giving his bullpen plenty of time to get loose. Try to see if we can looks like it's going to be Johnny Shuttlesworth warming up for Kansas City. I think, unless that could be Kovalik. We'll find out here in a second. As the first pitch to Crosby, line to right field. Wheat comes up with it, throws toward the plate. It's going to be cut off by Blackwood as Gary goes station to station and takes a 2-1 lead. Harris scores. Martinez goes to third. Del Valle goes to second. And Crosby, the 4th consecutive batter to reach here in the inning, is at first. Brings up Jose Gonzalez, and just like that, Mazzarelli will come out and get Messer out of there. So Jared Messer's night is finished after giving up a base hit to Harris, a base hit to Martinez, a walk to Del Valle, and a base hit to Crosby. We're here in the 6th. 1 runners across. It's a 2-1 game in favor of Gary, but the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the 6th. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, have the new pitcher for you right after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I love loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
So it is John Kovalik, the new pitcher for Kansas City, coming in a little bit of a pickle here with the bases loaded, nobody out. Gary has scored one here in the inning. The first four batters have reached for the RailCats. Two base hits, a walk, and another base hit. So John Kovalik getting his first chance to face his former team. Kovalik, 5'10", 205 pounds, out of Aurora, Ohio. Started the season with the RailCats and actually had pitched against Kansas City in the series up in Gary earlier this year. Kovalik made 17 appearances for the RailCats. He's made 7 for Kansas City. He's 1-0 with a 4.32 ERA. He has pitched in 8 1/3 innings for Kansas City, giving up 10 hits, 4 runs, all 4 been earned. He has walked 3, struck out 5. As the first pitch is in there for a called strike. Kovalik has given up 4 doubles as a T-bone. He has faced 37 hitters, and they're hitting .323 against him. As the one-strike pitch is fouled by Gonzalez. But Kansas City on Monday night used 3 pitchers out of the bullpen. Shuttlesworth, Ybarra, and Haynes. Last night, Tolles, Holman, and Ybarra. We have not seen DeLuca yet. As this one misses somewhere, Kovalik is not happy with that. Kovalik, after he realized Taylor Payne called that a ball, just kind of snapped his head around. Now the righty comes set. The kick and the 1-2 pitch is tapped foul off the bat of Gonzalez. Gonzalez 0 for 2 tonight. Kovalik, not a big strikeout guy, but if you could get a strikeout here, you'd have a potential double play in order to end the inning. Obviously, you take a double play right here, but a double play with one out, with nobody out rather, would likely score Martinez. Martinez at third, DeValier at second, Crosby at first. The count's even up 2-2 to Gonzalez. Nobody out. 1 runs across here in the 6th. It's a 2-1 game in favor of Gary. Next pitch in the dirt, blocked by Erie. So Kovalik, after being ahead in the count 0-2, now cannot take this one any further. Gonzalez on the right side of the plate, wide open stance. Kovalik, the righty, kicks and delivers, and the payoff pitch is fouled down the right field side. Kansas City took a 1-0 lead in this game in the bottom of the fourth. Gary came back and tied it with a run last inning, and they've taken a lead here with a run in the sixth, but they're threatening with the bases loaded, nobody out. Once again, the payoff pitch, and it's low and away, gets away from Erie, but he keeps it close enough that all Del Valle is going to do is go into third base with the walk. A run will score, though. And John Mazzarelli will come out. Now, we've talked about this before. Usually when Maz comes out, he's making a pitching change. Usually when they're going to talk to the pitcher, it's Bill Sobey. So as suspected, with Maz coming out, Kovalik will face one batter and he's done. So we'll have a pitching change for Kansas City. The bases remain loaded. And there's yet to be an out recorded here in the sixth. 2-minute timeout with the pitching change. This call to the bullpen. To bring in the lefty Josh Tolles. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Josh Tolles, a new pitcher for Kansas City. Is the first pitch to strike to John Holland. Nobody out, bases loaded. This one's high and tight. The first 5 batters have reached here for Gary. They've scored 2 thus far and have taken a 3-1 lead. The 6th inning was the problem spot last night. And it's proving to be that again here tonight. So Josh Tolles pitched in that game last night, went 2/3 of an inning in the 6th. Gave up 2 hits, 1 run. The lefty from Adelaide, Australia will give up a bloop base hit to Holland. That'll score 1. They're going to wave around the second runner, and he will slide in safely and make it a 5-1 game here in the 6th inning. So a 2-run hit for John Holland. He's reached base now all 3 times. Del Valle comes in and scores easily on the base hit. Crosby comes in easily to score on the base hit. Gonzalez moves up to third base. Still nobody out for Jared Medeiros. This is eerily similar to last night, whereas Yogi Berra allegedly said it's deja vu all over again. Next pitch from Tolles. Paints the black on the outside corner for a call and strike. Josh Tolles making his 17th appearance. He's 4-3 with a 3.89 ERA. Has appeared in 39 1/3 innings, given up 34 hits, 18 runs, 17 of those have been earned. Leaves the 67-mile-an-hour curveball upstairs to Medeiros. Tolles has struck out 32, walked 21. Giving up 3 home runs, 4 doubles. Here's the 2-1, fouled back and out of play. With Crosby coming in to score, we can close the book on Messer. Messer went 5+ innings tonight. Gave up 7 hits, 5 runs. All 5 were earned. Walked 4, struck out 2. Through 79 pitches, 47 were strikes. As this one is in there for a called third strike to Medeiros. So Tolles with his first strikeout, but more importantly, the first strikeout, or the first out rather, here in the 6th inning. So the first 6 batters reached base before the first out was recorded. And we go back at the top now with Cameron Newell. Newell with an RBI single last inning, and he grounds this one to Blackwood, who throws a second for 1, and nobody is covering. A bit of a lapse there by the pitcher, Josh Tolles. Generally, when a ball is hit that far to a pitcher's left, he will go toward first, at least to possibly cover. Blackwood ranged far to his right. And made a nice play, but there was nobody covering first. Nowhere for Frias to throw it. So we go to get 2 outs in the inning, but another run comes across. Davari the batter as he watches this one in there for a strike. It's 0-2. Davari, the 9th batter here in the 6th inning. 5 runs are across. It's now 6-1. In a 2-2 game last night, Gary scored 4 runs in the 6th inning. They sent 8 to the plate in the 6th last night. They're sending at least 9 here in the 6th tonight. Tolles, the lefty, comes set. The kick and the pitch is down low to Davari. Davari 0 for 3 tonight with a ground out, fly out, and strikeout. The starter tonight, Jared Messer, struck out Davari, ending last inning. Next pitch is lifted into right field. Wheat drifts back, camps under it, and pulls it down for out number 3. But not before Gary will break the tie and then some here in the 6th inning as they send 9 to the plate. The first 6 reached in the inning. They come away with 5 runs. They do it on 4 hits. There were no errors. And 1 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th. In a 6-1 game. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Well, that said, it's eerily similar to last night. A game in which Charlie Rosario was throwing pretty well early. Had given up a couple runs, 2 home runs for Kansas City last night. But then Rosario got a big 4-run inning by his mates to go up 6-2. Tonight, Richard Castillo-Diaz has been throwing fairly well. Had given up a run. His teammates give him 5 runs in the top of the 6th inning. So he now has a comfortable 6-1 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Anthony Gallus leads things off, and he watches this one miss low and away. It's 2-1. Gallus 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs to the third baseman Martinez. Castillo kicks and delivers, and the 2-1 pitch is outside. Castillo-Diaz has had just 1 perfect inning, and that was last inning. Seems like that was a couple hours ago. After that 9-batter top half of this inning is the 3-1 pitch misses way inside to Gallus, so he will lead off the 6th inning with a walk. That is the first walk of the night given up by Castillo. And it brings up Vladimir Frias. Vladdy, the first of 3 consecutive batters now, who have reached twice against Castillo tonight. Vladdy has 2 base hits. As the first pitch misses inside, he also scored Kansas City's lone run in the 4th inning. Kansas City took 2 of 3 from Winnipeg over the weekend. Won the first game of this series, lost last night. So as this homestand wraps up, Kansas City will finish 4-2 or 3-3. Frias taps this one foul. So the worst they finish is 500, but it'd be really nice to be able to get this win and inch Gary 1 game closer in the standings. Gary in 2nd place in the Central. Here's the 1-1 to Frias. He shows bunt and fouls it down the third base side. Lincoln leading the division, 37-26. Gary second place, 33-31. They're 4.5 behind Lincoln. Sioux City 6 back from Lincoln at 31-32, and then the T-Bones 29-35, 8.5 games behind the Salt Dogs. One-two count to Frias. The pitch is outside. Kansas City is 6th in the wild card standings at this point. 6 games behind Winnipeg. The kick and the pitch is fouled back and out of play. So with just 3 homestands remaining for the T-Bones after tonight, it makes each of these games, each of these series, just that much more crucial. The kick and the 2-2 pitch is outside. There's 3 games with Winnipeg this weekend. All-Star break, and then the team right in front of Kansas City in the standings in both the Central and in the wild card. Sioux City will play host to the T-Bones for a 4-game series. Thursday, August 4th through Sunday, August 7th. Here's the payoff pitch. It's down low. So the T-Bones with their first 2 aboard here in the 6th inning on back-to-back walks by Castillo Diaz. His first 2 walks of the night. And in this 6-1 Gary lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning, it brings up Dalton Wheat. Wheat 1 for 2 tonight. He's been on base both times, but unfortunately he has been stranded at third base both times. Steps in on the left side of the plate. Grips the bat with his worker's gloves. And watches the first pitch paint the black on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. As we have passed the 9 o'clock hour here in Kansas City. Gary scoring 5 runs in the top of this inning and taking a 6-1 lead as Wheat goes after this one, chops it toward the second baseman Holland. His only play will be to first. And Wheat will be retired 4-3, but he will move up Gallus to third and Frias to second. What's the old joke? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you eat into a 5-run Gary lead? 1 run at a time. A base hit or a fly ball would get Kansas City, should get Kansas City at least 1 of those runs. Erie, the batter, he's reached base twice tonight, once on an error, once on a hit. As this one is on the outside corner for a strike. Erie reached on an error by the third baseman Martinez, who airmailed a throw to Del Valle back in the second. And had an RBI single in the fourth. Here's the 1-strike pitch. It's fouled back over off the suite level and down into the seats. We've seen a couple nice one-handed grabs on bounces tonight. That fan, after a bounce off the suite, held onto the railing and kind of jumped up and had a nice one-handed snag. Here's the 2-strike to Erie. It's low and away. Brian Erie batting .273. Tonight was his first hit in his last 4 games as he lines this one but foul down the third base side. Erie with runners in scoring position, batting .286. Steps back in on the right side. Castillo Diaz comes center of the belt. The righty kicks and delivers. And the 1-2 pitch is lined right back to Diaz, who makes the play, and that was just a rocket off the bat of Erie. Gallus was able to scoot back to third base, but I mean, anyone who has played catch has caught a ball just in that right spot of the palm where it is just, it'll sting like crazy, and that's what that felt like for Castillo Diaz. He took his glove off, started shaking his hand off. So a sharp liner by Erie, but it will produce no runs for Kansas City. And I mentioned this earlier, but in case you're just tuning in, I will apologize if I go back from Castillo to Castillo Diaz. He started off this season here in Kansas City as the first pitch is way inside to the pinch hitter, Starlin Rodriguez. Rodriguez batting for Sergio Leon. This pitch misses upstairs to Rodriguez, but the pitch was inside, and as Rodriguez spun around, he has his pocket hanging out, as a lot of the kids do these days, and it almost caught his pocket. Here's the 2-0 to Rodriguez. Popped up right side, but he'll find the seats. But when Richard Castillo Diaz started this season with Kansas City, I had seen his name was Castillo Diaz. In fact, when Maz first told me that Castillo had signed, he called him Castillo Diaz. Couldn't find him anywhere, Baseball Reference, wherever. Asked Castillo Diaz, it was just Castillo, and so I asked Richard about it. He said technically it's Castillo Diaz. And so had he stayed here, I think the day after I asked him that is when Kansas City traded him to Gary, the day or two after that. But he was about to make his first start, and so I wanted to make sure we had it correct, whether it's Castillo or Castillo Diaz. So as I mentioned earlier in the game, I do apologize if I will go back and forth from time to time. Here's the 2-2 to Rodriguez, a base hit to left field that will score a run for Kansas City. Davari, the left fielder, had Rodriguez played pretty shallow. So he is able to come up throwing quickly to hold Frias at third base. But a pinch hit RBI single for Starlin Rodriguez. We'll make it a 6-2 game here at the bottom of the sixth. And we go back to the top of the lineup now with Tyson Gillies. The pitching coach, Alan Keano, will come out and talk with Castillo as well as most of the infield for Gary. Kansas City with runners at the corners here in the 6th inning, 2 outs. But Tyson Gillies jumped on Castillo Diaz back in the 1st inning and ended up getting stranded at third base after Brett Wiley put down a sacrifice bunt. That moved Gillies to second base, and then Tyson moved it up to third on the ground out by Massey, but Blackwood flied out, ending the 1st inning, and Tyson Gillies was stuck at third. We'll see if Gillies can make sure that Vladimir Frias is not stuck at third here in the 6th inning. Frias at third base, Rodriguez at first. Tyson Gillies, the batter. And on the left side of the plate, Castillo Diaz, the right-hander, kicks and delivers, and the first pitch is high and away. After a perfect 1-2-3 inning, last inning, Kansas City has sent the most batters to the plate of any inning tonight. This is their 6th batter. Big swing and a miss. It's kind of a confusing way of saying that the T-Bones sent 6 to the plate in the 4th, and this is their 6th batter here in the 6th. 6-2, RailCats on top. Castillo Diaz comes set at the belt. The 1-1 to Gillies is outside. As there's action now in both bullpens. Castillo gets the one he wants from Gonzalez. Rodriguez starting to take off, does not, as Gillies swings and misses. So the count's even up now, 2-2. Deuce is hanging wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And 2 aboard for Kansas City. Castillo at 90 pitches now. The kick and the 2-2 pitch. On the ground, it's that funky defense, and this time it will cost the RailCats a run. They don't have a shift on, but they had the second baseman Holland playing way back into his left. They had Gillies played perfectly back in the 4th inning, and this time Gillies taps it a little softer and a little bit more to Holland's right. And he had absolutely no play as Frias will come in and score. Rodriguez moves up to second base. And the T-Bones have cut this lead in half, and that's going to do it for Castillo Diaz. So Greg Taggart will come out and relieve Castillo Diaz. And we'll get the pitching change. This call to the bullpen with Kansas City trailing now 6-3. We're back in 2 minutes on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
The new pitcher will be Santiago Rodriguez. Rodriguez, a 6-foot, 185-pound right-hander out of the Dominican Republic. Kansas City has scored 2 runs here in the 6th inning. Trail it now 6-3 after a big 5-run top half of this inning for the RailCats. Starlin Rodriguez at second base. Tyson Gillies with the RBI single is over at first. Brett Wiley the batter now. And already Rodriguez is a little bit unsettled as Wiley steps in. Rodriguez stepped off, now back up there. And the first pitch to Wiley, big swing and a miss. Rodriguez faced the T-Bones earlier this season in that 4-game series at the end of May. He pitched an inning and a third, did not give up a hit, did not walk a batter, struck out 3. So out of the 4 he faced, 3 struck out. On the season, Rodriguez is 5-5 with a 2.78 ERA. As Wiley fouls this one back to the screen. Rodriguez has appeared in 22 games, 32 and a third innings, giving up 33 hits. 12 runs, a strikeout to walk ratio of 26-14. He's given up 2 homers, 4 doubles, no triples. The right-hander comes set. 2 outs here in the inning. The 1-2 to Wiley is fouled to almost the identical spot. T-Bones trailing it 6-3 here in the bottom of the 6th. Wiley back in on the left side. The 1-2 again is fouled back and out of play. Wiley tonight is 1 for 2. Had that sacrifice bunt in the first inning, singled in the third, and then grounded out leading off the 5th. He is the 7th batter for Kansas City here in the 6th. The outfield playing fairly shallow. Big swing and a miss. So Wiley Goes down on strikes. It'll be the first strikeout here for Rodriguez. But the third out here in the sixth inning, but not before Kansas City will take a couple bites into this RailCat lead. Kansas City with 2 runs here in the inning. They do it on 2 hits. There were no errors, and the T-Bones will leave 2 on. We've played 6. We go to the 7th in a 6-3 RailCat lead. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
As we go to the 7th inning, we'll get a new pitcher for Kansas City. Josh Toll's night is done. We'll go to another lefty, Evan DeLuca. As I mentioned, we have not seen DeLuca here in this series. DeLuca, the lefty out of White House Station, New Jersey, 6'1", 210 pounds. He's 2-2 with a 3.73 ERA. Has appeared in 27 games. 31 in the third innings, given up 27 hits, 17 runs. 13 of those have been earned. He has struck out 31, walked 18. Given up 5 doubles. Opponents are hitting .233 against him. So Evan DeLuca, who comes 3/4 arm most of the time, occasionally will drop down a little bit lower. And can be tricky at times for a left-handed hitter. DeLuca against Gary this season has appeared in just 1 game. He went 2 innings, gave up 2 hits. He faced 8 batters, struck out 2. So defensively for Kansas City, with Starlin Rodriguez pinch hitting for Sergio Leon last inning, and a productive pinch hit at that with an RBI base hit. Brett Wiley moves over to third base, as we've seen him do a few times this year. Rodriguez goes to second. So it'll be Chase Harris, Frank Martinez, Jaime DeValier here in the inning. 6-3, RailCats leading it. They sent 9 to the plate and scored 5 runs last inning. DeLuca's first pitch is a fastball at 92 that misses outside. DeLuca, with nobody on, works out of the stretch. The 1-ball pitch to Harris, fouled sharply back to the screen. 91 on that fastball from DeLuca. DeLuca's last outing was 4 days ago. Here's 1-1. It's on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. And Kansas City 7-6 loss to Winnipeg. On July 23rd, DeLuca came in for an inning, had a walk and a strikeout. Here he will get a strikeout of Chase Harris leading off the 7th inning. So Chase Harris, who led off last inning with a base hit, eventually came in to score the first 5 runs in the inning, strikes out against DeLuca, leading off the 7th. So with 1 out here in the 7th, that brings up the third baseman, Frank Martinez. Martinez in on the right side of the plate as the first pitch misses low and inside from DeLuca. DeLuca, the 4th Kansas City pitcher of the night. Messer started the game. Let's put it this way. 3 of the 4 were used last inning. Here's the 1-ball pitch. Big swing and a miss. 92 on that one from DeLuca. Jared Messer, John Kovalik, Josh Tolles all pitched last inning. Kovalik came in for 1 batter. Here's the 1-1 to Martinez. High chopper. Frias will not have a play on it. It goes past him. Wiley will chase it down and make sure that Martinez is held up at first with a base hit. A tough play right off the bat for Frias. His only hope was going to be to barehand it and possibly make a close play of it at first. Martinez got down the line in a hurry. But when that hit in front of the plate, it seemed like it went about 25 feet in the air. Del Valle the batter now, with a runner aboard and 1 out here in the 7th. 6-3, Gary on top. First pitch to Del Valle, misses down low. Del Valle 1 for 2 tonight with a base hit in the 2nd inning. A high pop out right in front of home plate in the 4th, and walked and scored last inning. Middle infield of double play depth. Wiley pretty close to the base at 3rd. This one's in the dirt but blocked by Erie. So defensively for Kansas City, Gillies in left, Massey in center, Weed in right. With the changes here this inning, Wiley went from 2nd to 3rd. Frias is at short. Rodriguez, who pinch hit in the bottom of the 6th, is at 2nd. Blackwood's at 1st. Here's a throw over to 1st, and the runner Martinez back with no problem. Six runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the RailCats. 3 runs on 8 hits for Kansas City. Here's the 2-ball pitch. It's upstairs. So after getting a strikeout on Harris, DeLuca gave up a base hit to Martinez and is now behind in the count, 3-0 to Del Valle. The runner leaning a little bit. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and the automatic's outside. So for the 2nd consecutive inning, Del Valle will draw a walk. Now he gets a quick meeting at the mound with pitching coach Bill Sobey. That's the first walk given up by DeLuca, and it brings up the DH, Alex Crosby. Nobody warming up for either club at this point. As Sobey says his piece and now heads back slowly toward the dugout. Taylor Payne, a former student of Bill Sobey, is the home plate umpire tonight. He made a few steps toward the mound, then Brian Erie finished up their meeting. So Frank Martinez at second base, Jaime DeValle at first. Alex Crosby, who singled his last two at-bats, including last inning, and they'll say DeLuca balked. He is just staring at umpire Tim Kramer. I want to get another look at this one. So a balk will put two in scoring position. Here's the first pitch to Crosby. Chopper up the middle, that'll score a run. Frias fields it behind the base, throws to first in time to get Crosby 6-3 for the out. But Martinez comes in and scores. Del Valle goes up to third. Crosby gets his second RBI of the night. And with two outs in the inning, it brings up Jose Gonzalez, the catcher. Gonzalez with a bases-loaded walk last time up. He eventually came in to score. 7-3 now, RailCats on top. Gary has scored in each of the last three innings, one run in the fifth, 5 in the sixth, one here thus far in the seventh. As this one's chopped foul toward the Gary dugout. Kansas City with a run in the fourth and two in the sixth. So after Kansas City will dig a little into this RailCat lead in the bottom of the sixth. They give one back here in the seventh as this pitch is high and away. So I guess you could say that elephant just got a little bit bigger. Here's the 2-1, way outside. So 3-1 to Gonzalez, the number 7 hitter in the lineup. Del Valle gets his lead at third. DeLuca gets the one he wants from Erie, comes center at the belt. The kick and the 3-1 pitch is fouled back to the screen. So DeLuca now one pitch from getting out of this inning. Although I guess technically with 2 outs, you're still always one pitch from getting out of the inning. He is one strike from getting out of the inning. Gonzalez in on the right side of the plate, wide open stance. DeLuca, the lefty, with his sidearm motion, and it misses inside for ball 4. So the second walk of the inning given up by DeLuca. And with runners at the corners, it brings up John Holland. Be nice for Kansas City to figure out a way to get Holland out here tonight. He's been on base all 3 times, 2 walks and a base hit. He scored the first run of the game, that being back first run of the game for Gary in the 5th inning. DeLuca's first pitch is inside to Holland. Holland's base hit last inning, brought in 2. As he takes this one back up the middle, Frias will field it and realize he has time to step on second base to force out Gonzalez for out number 3. So the 7th ends, but not before Gary will add a run here in the inning. They do so on just 1 hit. There were a couple walks. And the RailCats leave a couple on. It's stretch time here at Community America Ballpark with Kansas City trailing at 7-3. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Kansas City trailing this 7-3 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Here at Community America Ballpark, the rubber match, the finale, call it what you will, here between Kansas City and Gary. The T-Bones took 2 of 3 from Winnipeg over the weekend. Won the first game in this series, lost last night. And before embarking on basically a long break from Community America Ballpark, the T-Bones won't be back home until Monday, August the 8th. 3 games at Winnipeg, 3 off days rather, for the All-Star break, and then 4 games at Sioux City before Kansas City returns home on August 8th. Tyler Massey leads things off, and the pitch from Rodriguez misses inside. Santiago Rodriguez came in last inning and struck out Wiley, ending the 6th inning. Massey takes a big hack and fouls it back to the screen. We will board the bus tonight, head to Winnipeg. I'll be with you Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. Well, Friday and Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoon. And then Big Sam King will be with you for those 4 games at Sioux City. Counts 3-1 to Massey. The kick and the pitch is lined into right field for a base hit, just past the outstretched glove of John Holland, the second baseman. That'll bring up Jake Blackwood, who's looking for his first hit of the night. Remember, when Kansas City returns home on August the 8th, kids eat free that night. First 1,000 kids, 12 and under. On Tuesday night, it's free T-Bones Hat Night from Sheet Metal Local number 2. Runner at first, nobody out. The first pitch to Blackwood is in there for a strike. Wednesday night, August 10th, is Ladies' Night. And then Thursday night, August the 11th, post-game Midget Wrestling Championship on the field. Here's the one-strike pitch to Blackwood. It's in the dirt. Friday, August 12th, Pirates and Princesses Night. Saturday, First Responders Night, post-game fireworks. Sunday, August 14th, is Suicide Prevention Game, afternoon. Presented by Marillac. 2-1 the count to Blackwood. So just 3 homestands remaining for Kansas City. We hope you'll join us for one of those 3 in August. Rodriguez kicks and delivers. It's down low. So Blackwood now gets a 3-1 count. Jake should get a pretty good pitch to hit here, or if he doesn't, Kansas City will have runners at first and second for the second consecutive inning. Last inning, Gallus and Frias led off the inning with walks. Runner takes off. Pitch is swung on and lifted on the right side and drifting into the seats. Massey got a heck of a jump, but heads back toward first. So the count full now to Blackwood. Jake with a couple flyouts to Chase Harris in center field. Rodriguez, the right-hander, kicks and delivers. Massey takes off again. Blackwood pops this one up. If we had a net, we couldn't have caught it. You might have heard it hit above our heads. I thought when it went up that it might be in front of the booth a little bit. I've been telling Nate for the last 4 years that we need to get a net, just a big fishing net out here. You're so close to the action here at Community America Ballpark that there wouldn't be a lot of opportunities to use the net, but we've had several over the years. Here's the payoff pitch. Runner goes again. So the only play is to first, and it's a wide throw that they will say Del Valle was stepping on first. In time to get Blackwood. John Mazzarelli is going to come out and argue. Wow, looking at the replay, it's kind of tough to see, but I'm not sure Del Valle ever touched the base. And now the umpires are going to talk about this one. And they still say he's out. Looking at the replay, I'm afraid they might have missed that one. Now Massey will end up at second base. Blackwood out on the 5-3 putout. Earlier in the game, with Blackwood defensively at first base, there was a close play that they say he pulled his foot off, and the runner was safe. This time they say Del Valle had his foot on. First pitch to Anthony Gallus is down low. Gallus walked and scored last inning. Otherwise, 0 for 2. Here's the 1-ball pitch from Rodriguez. It's lifted deep into left field. Not deep enough. Although Massey's going to try to tag and dive in safely at third base. As the ball is mishandled by Martinez. So fly out will put Massey at third base. Brings up Frias now with runner at third and 2 outs. Vladdy has been on base all 3 times tonight. Couple singles, a walk, and 2 runs scored. Not a bad day at the office. First pitch from Rodriguez is on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. A long look in. Now the 1-strike pitch. Almost the same spot, but a little bit low. So the count's even up 1-1 now to Frias. Next pitch is down low. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. As this one is skied down the left field side. Toward the line, Davari, the left fielder, will make the play for out number 3. So Kansas City gets its leadoff runner aboard here in the 7th inning. But Tyler Massey will be stranded at third base. We've played 7. Kansas City trails at 7-3. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Evan DeLuca back on the hill for Kansas City as Jared Medeiros will lead off for Gary. First pitch in there for a strike from DeLuca. 9-1-2 here in the inning. Medeiros, Newell, and Davari. Kansas City trails 7-3 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. A gorgeous night here at Community America Ballpark. As this one goes way past Erie and off the padding. Here's the 1-1. It's outside. We've seen DeLuca tonight really pitch away from the right-handed hitters. As this one's fouled back and out of play. A lot of times we'll see him bring his slider basically toward the back foot of a right-handed hitter. This one's high and away, and Medeiros goes chasing after it for strike 3. Medeiros will strike out for the second time tonight. He'll also be the second strikeout for DeLuca. And with one out here in the 8th, to go back to the top now with Cameron Newell. Cameron Newell, the couple RBIs tonight. Watches the first pitch miss high and inside. As this one misses low and inside. Not surprisingly, DeLuca with much better stuff, much better numbers against left-handed hitters. Righties hitting .261 against DeLuca. Lefties hitting .171 as DeLuca almost hits Newell with this one. He is an equal opportunity strikeout pitcher as he has struck out 15 righties and 16 lefties. Here's the 3-0 to Newell. Inside, ball 4. So DeLuca, who walked 2 last inning, will walk Newell with 1 out here in the 8th. We will get some action in both bullpens. The kick and the pitch is fouled back to the screen. I was trying to see, I believe, and this time of night is kind of tough to tell. I believe it's Shuttlesworth, though, for Kansas City. T-Bone's trailing it 7-3 here in the top of the 8th. If you can get out of this inning unscathed, then they might do it right here. Frias, though, on the grounder from Davari, will go to first with it. That was really his only play. Davari with a high chopper that Frias took a quick glance but realized there was no way to get Newell. So 2 outs in the inning now. Brian Erie goes out and chats with DeLuca for a moment. Chase Harris 2 for 4 tonight. Couple singles, a run scored. He has been at the plate now in 3 consecutive innings. Singled and scored in the 6th, struck out looking in the 7th. We'll see what he does here in the 8th. Cameron Newell gets his lead at second base. DeLuca comes set at the belt. The kick and the first pitch missed somewhere to Harris. The action has ceased in the Kansas City bullpen. Here's the 1-0 to Harris. It's high and away, 91 in that fastball from DeLuca. DeLuca, the 4th Kansas City pitcher tonight. Messer started tonight. He gave up 5 runs and 7 hits in 5+ innings. He faced the first 4 batters in the 6th inning. That was an inning that Gary scored 5 runs on 4 hits. They sent 9 to the plate and faced 2 more Kansas City pitchers, John Kovalik and Josh Tolles. Harris back in on the right side of the plate. DeLuca, the lefty, comes set. The kick and the 2-ball pitch is lifted into right field. Wheat goes back at the warning track, makes the play for out number 3. So Kansas City with time to come back in this, trailing 7-3, but they're running out of outs. They have 6 left with which to work. And it looks like they could get a new pitcher coming in for Gary, so a new pitcher to face the bottom third of the Kansas City order as the T-Bones trailing it 7-3. We're back in 2 minutes on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
The new pitcher for Gary, left-hander Lars Lagore, will be facing the 7-8-9 hitters, Wheat, Erie, and Rodriguez for Kansas City. T-Bones trailing at 7-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Lagore, 6'1", 205 pounds, out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Next pitch to Wheat, misses low and inside. Liguori, the third pitcher tonight for Gary, following Richard Castillo-Diaz and Santiago Rodriguez. Counts now 3-0 to Wheat. Liguori making his 6th appearance as he gets the automatic in there for a strike. No record, 3.38 ERA. He's appeared in 8 innings, given up 11 hits, 3 runs. All 3 were earned. Has walked 3, struck out 3, given up 3 doubles. And shockingly enough, opponents hitting 3-3-3 against Lars Liguori. As the 3-2 pitch is tapped toward the first base side. Tough play. DeValle will not be able to make a play as he fields it and will not be able to get the speedy Wheat on the infield single leading off the 8th inning. That's the 10th hit of the game for Kansas City. T-Bones with 3 runs, 10 hits, no errors. The RailCats 7 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. So the leadoff runner aboard here in the 8th inning. It brings up the catcher, Brian Erie. Erie 1 for 3, reached on an error, had an RBI single, and had a sharp line out to Castillo in the 6th. As the first pitch goes foul. T-Bones will leave for Winnipeg tonight. Hopefully be in Winnipeg by lunchtime tomorrow. As the 1-strike pitch swung on a missed. Erie down in the count 0-2. You never know with the border crossing. Sometimes it can be pretty quick, pretty swift. Other times not so much. As Erie will watch this one go by and strike out looking. First strikeout for Liguori, and it brings up Starlin Rodriguez for his 2nd time tonight. Rodriguez replaced Sergio Leon in the 6th inning. Came on as a pinch hitter with Gallus and Frias on, and with a base hit, he brought in Gallus. First pitch this time to Rodriguez, misses inside. Leon had gone 0 for 2. Next pitch is right down the chute for a called strike. The 1-1 pitch is fouled back and out of play. Here's the 1-2 to Rodriguez. A chopper towards second. The second baseman will reach out and touch Wheat for the first out, but the throw to first base pulled DeValle off the bag, and Rodriguez will be in safe with the fielder's choice. So 2 outs in the inning now for the leadoff batter, Tyson Gillies. Kansas City has had its chances tonight. The T-Bones had a runner at third in the first inning, unable to score. Runners at second and third in the second inning, unable to score as the first pitch misses. The T-Bones did score in the fourth, but they stranded Weed at third base in the inning. Next pitch to Gillies, misses low and away. The only time Kansas City has gone down in order tonight was in the fifth inning. In the sixth, the T-Bones scored 2 runs. Stranded Rodriguez at second. Here's the 2-ball pitch. It's in there for a strike to Gillies. Last inning, Tyler Massey led off with a single. He was stranded at third. As the next pitch will hit Gillies, and he will run down to first. You know, Gillies, a whale of a player. As Greg Taggart, the manager for Gary, will head out and talk to Lars Lagori. Gary has had some action in their bullpen, but it does not look like Greg Taggart will do anything other than chat with Lagori and his catcher, Jose Gonzalez. But Gillies is one of those guys that is fun to watch. I mean, he's a guy he's always hustling on the field. He was hit by a pitch and just sprinted down to first. Last night, he hit a home run in the first inning, and I think we clocked him around the bases at about 3 seconds. You would have thought it was an inside the park home run. He ran so hard. Runners at first and second, 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Kansas City trails 7-3 as the first pitch to Brett Wiley misses upstairs. Wiley with a hit in the 3rd inning. He had a sacrifice in the 1st, grounded out in the 5th, struck out in the 6th. Next pitch is on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. We'll be on the air Friday night around 6:45. Saturday night around 6:45. Sunday afternoon about 12:45. All Central Time. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's up high. Two outs here in the bottom of the 8th. The kick and the pitch is lifted into left field. DeVare will drift over toward the warning track. He keeps running and makes the play for out number 3. So Kansas City once again gets its leadoff runner aboard, but they're unable to do anything here in the 8th. For Kansas City, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors. And the T-Bones will leave 2 on base. We've played 8. We head to the 9th. Kansas City trailing at 7-3. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Johnny Shuttlesworth comes in for Kansas City as we go to the ninth inning. T-Bones trailing at 7-3. Here at Community America Ballpark, Gary, the leadoff hitter Martinez, grounds it to Blackwood, who flips to Shuttlesworth covering for out number one. Gary with a run in the fifth, 5 in the sixth. They sent 9 to the plate that inning. And a run in the seventh. Kansas City with a run in the fourth, 2 in the sixth. And that's where we stand at 7-3. This pitch is in there for a strike to Del Valle. Shuttlesworth appeared in the first game of this series. This curveball slips out of Shuttlesworth's hand. He relieved Jordan Cooper on Monday night through 2/3 of an inning. Walked 1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's inside. On the season, Shuttlesworth, the 6'1", 220-pound right-hander out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Another grounder to first. Blackwood takes this one himself. And 2 up, 2 down here in the ninth. Shuttlesworth, 3-4 on the season. 23 appearances, 5 starts, those all coming early in the year. A 5.18 ERA, 48 2/3 innings. He does have 1 save, by the way. Has given up 62 hits, 31 runs. Has struck out 44, walked 18, but here in this inning, he will just have a very nice 6-pitch, 3-out, 3-batter inning. 3 up, 3 down here in the inning as Crosby flies out to center, ending the inning. Kansas City down to its final 3 outs, trailing here 7-3. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
All right, here we go, the ninth inning. Tyler Massey, Jake Blackwood, Anthony Gallus. Here to face the new pitcher, Jorge De Leon for Gary, as the RailCats leading this one 7-3. Kansas City down to its final 3 outs. A win, and Kansas City would win 2 consecutive series, and in this homestand, 4-2. A loss, Kansas City will split this homestand 3-3. The 1-0 pitch to Massey is in there for a strike. De Leon making his 7th appearance. No record, he does have 1 save. A 0.73 ERA. He's appeared in 12 1/3 innings, given up 8 hits, 2 runs. 1 has been earned. He's walked 7, struck out 13. Opponents hitting just 186 against De Leon. As the 2-1 pitch misses, it's 3-1 now to Massey. Next pitch high and away. So Massey with a leadoff walk here in the 9th inning. De Leon pitched in the major leagues for Houston. Spent parts of the 2013 and 14 seasons with the Astros. He spent most of last year at Double-A. As this one's in there for a strike. With the Astros, he appeared in 19 games. Had an 0-1 record with a 5.19 ERA. Blackwood goes after the 1-strike pitch and launches it about a mile high. Plenty of time for the left fielder Davari to camp under and pull it down for out number 1. Brings up Gallus now. Gallus 0 for 3, but he walked and scored a run in the 6th. De Leon pitched in 17 1/3 innings with the Astros, allowed 21 hits, including 3 home runs. In those 17 1/3 innings, he struck out 10.
First pitch to Gallus is on the inside part of the plate. He did not think so. He let Taylor Payne, the home plate umpire, know that. De Leon, the right-hander, kicks and delivers, and the next one in almost the identical same spot for strike number 2. De Leon, after spending time with the Astros, went to the Dodgers organization. Spent most of last year in Double-A. As this one is a rocket off the facing of the Kansas City dugout. He pitched in 34 games for Tulsa, the Double-A affiliate of the Dodgers last year, and had a 3.80 ERA. Combined Double-A and Triple-A last year, he is 1-5 with a 4.75 ERA. As Gallus fouls this one sharply down the third base side. So the count remains 0-2, 1 out, bottom of the ninth, 7-3, RailCats leading it. As this one misses to Gallus, it's 1-2. Gary signed De Leon on July 6th of this year. The righty comes set at the belt. The kick and the 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. So Gallus goes down on strike, still kind of barking at Taylor Payne. And with 2 outs in the ninth, it brings up the shortstop, Vladimir Frias. Vladdy has reached base 3 times tonight. A couple singles, a walk, a fly out, and 2 runs scored. And on the left side of the plate against the right-hander De Leon. Goes after the first pitch and lifts it into right field, and that's going to do it for the T-Bones here tonight. As Newell make the catch for out number 3. For Kansas City in the ninth. No runs, no hits. RailCats did not commit any errors, and the T-Bones leave 1 on base. So Kansas City loses it here tonight by a final of 7-3, 7 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for Gary, 3 runs, 10 hits, and no errors for Kansas City. Gary left 8 runners on base tonight. Kansas City, again, having its chances, having opportunities with runners not only in scoring position, but runners at third base multiple times tonight. But unable to score, they stranded 12 here in this game tonight. The T-Bones here on the season dropped to 29-36. Gary improves to 34-31. Jared Messer goes to 3-2 on the season. And Richard Castillo-Diaz improves to 4-3. So the T-Bones lose a little bit of ground in the division tonight in the wild card race. But they'll be back at it Friday night. 3 games in Winnipeg. We're going to take the day off tomorrow, traveling to Winnipeg, leaving hopefully in the next hour and a half here tonight. Be in Winnipeg most of tomorrow. And then we'll be back on the air with you on Friday night about 6:45 Central Time, Friday night and Saturday night. You can catch all the action right here at tbonesbaseball.com. We hope you'll join us for those games. I'll be with you those 3, and then Kansas City will have the All-Star break coming up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week before traveling to Sioux City for a 4-game series Thursday through Sunday in early August. And the T-Bones finally will return home for a nice 7-game homestand beginning on Monday night, August the 8th against Lincoln. We have not seen Lincoln since early, at least here in Kansas City, have not seen Lincoln since early in the season. So the T-Bones losing it here tonight by a final of 7-3. Again, Kansas City 29-36 now in the season, and Gary improves to 34-31. I'll be with you on Friday night about 6:45 from Shaw Park in Winnipeg. Until then, from Community America Ballpark, this is Matt Folk saying be safe and take care, everyone. This game on the T-Bones Broadcast Network was brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Funweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Tune in online all season to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Click on the Watch Live or Listen Live buttons at tbonesbaseball.com. T-Bones Baseball, that's fun. Well done.